We're doing it live underdog drafts right now. Live underdog best ball drafts with the rookies included. We're doing it like we do every single, every other night pretty much, midnight Eastern. We're live. We're doing stuff. We're thinking stuff up. We're just kicking stuff around or drafting and kicking stuff around. The phone lines are going to be open. The drafts will be underway. The conversation's going to be cooking. This is the Fantasy Football Show. This is our third live stream of the day. Okay? We live stream more than anybody. Show me somebody that live streams more than I do. That's what I thought. File on in. Blind Larry first in the building, followed by Double A, followed by Frake. Let's go. The Fantasy Football Show begins now. Hit that like button.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
We're doing live best ball drafts with the rookies included. You heard me. The rookies are included. It's absolutely fantastic. It's phenomenal. The value will never be better than it is right now. You might say to me, Smitty, maybe we should wait until we know where the rookies land. Or Smitty, what if someone gets hurt? Or Smitty, what if somebody gets traded? What if Aaron Rodgers gets traded? This is all about predicting and avoiding risk and grabbing guys that are on the low. If Petrified Peter would have said, Smitty, should we wait on Breece Hall? What if he's not going to be that good? Or Smitty, should we wait on Kenneth Walker? Smitty, what should we do with Joe Burrow and Chase? Should we wait? What if you waited on all those things and you didn't get to capitalize on the Kenneth Walker 9th and 10th round value last offseason? The more you wait, the longer you wait, the more people prepare. The more people get versed in what's actually going to happen in your draft. You, my friend, a watcher of the Fantasy Football Show, you, my friend, I work for you. You, my friend, have such a strategic advantage to do your draft right now because you know what time it is. You're versed in what's up. You know exactly who to target right now. And sure, we're going to develop more players that we love, favorites of ours that emerge in June, July, August, September. We're going to evolve and adapt. We don't know everything right now, but we know guys like Jahmyr Gibbs and Charbonnet and even Kenneth Walker in these best ball drafts going in round 2. We know what's up. And the longer you wait, the more people can kind of catch up. So, on that note, we're diving straight in to do some drafting. Let me drop the link in the description here. Link in the live chat in the description already. Link in the live chat. If you want to draft, I'm pinning it right now. Oh, hold on. I got to load this again. I'm going to pin the live chat in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't go into the big board yet, or you can click on it. But what you're going to look for, and I'm going to pin this, so if you want to get in this draft, I'm pinning it right now. We're going to go into the big board. They've got a lot of stuff on this carousel here. We're going to go to the first one, I believe. It's the big board is $10 per entry. The link that's pinned in the live chat, you should have already signed up by now because you got to hurry if you're going to try and get into this one. $10 minimum deposit. Underdog will match your deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. So if you deposit $50, they'll give you $50. If you deposit $100, they'll give you $100. The link is pinned in the live chat. The link is in the description. And we're going to jump on. Don't click it yet. I'm going to click on this to show you. It's $1 million in prizes, $10 in entry. First place gets $200,000. Second place gets $50,000. Third place gets $35,000. It pays over $1,000 for places 26 through 100. So you literally could win $1,000 placing 99. Hey, Miss Smitty, I placed 99th in a draft. Oh, you suck. You suck, Smitty. But it pays $1,000, babe. Oh, you're my hero. I absolutely love you. You see what I'm saying? You finished 50th. You finished 99th. You're a hero. You're a hero when you walk out the door. You're an absolute hero in gem inside your own household, even placing 99th place. Okay, click the green enter button because we got about a 5-6 second delay. 1, 2. I'm going to click it right now. We're all going to get in the same draft. Hopefully there's a lot of entries on this one. Filled. Okay, so we're waiting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. There's like 6, 7 spots, 5 spots. They're filling quick. And that's why you got to be ready. You got to click that link ahead of time. You got to get going. Smitty, no one works harder than you. Appreciate you, Roger. You are the man, Roger. Ron Navy in the building. Ron Navy's in here. Punch that thumb up button on your way in the door. Appreciate you all being here. It's draft season, baby. It's smoke season. It's news season. We got 3 more people to enter. Looks like we're waiting on 2 more to enter to grab these last 2 spots. Then the order gets set, and then 60-second timer for the draft to begin. If you miss on this one, don't worry. We got phone calls. The phone lines will be open. You can dial in. You can ask a question in the chat. Super chats are always welcome, never expected, always appreciated. And we got 1 more spot to fill. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it goes. Here it goes. It's going to get filled right here. It's going to get filled right here. Hey, Smitty, your cat did okay with the shot. Oh, thank you for asking. I became a cat veterinarian doctor / whatever today, because apparently 1.1. We got the 1.1.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy.
We got the 1.1. What is going on here? What is going on here? Let's see here. I'm trying to see why my camera. Hold on, let me fix this camera.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy.
We're upside down now. Hold on. Let's go to this camera shot. There we go. Let's do that over again. We got the 1.1.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy.
We're ready. Smitty's drafting from the 1.1. I love getting this 1.1 pick. The draft starts in 6 seconds. It starts in 5. It starts in 4. Let's go. Who am I drafting? I've been going Jamar like crazy. Part of me wants to go CMC in one of these drafts. I really worry about the workload eventually catching up to this guy. But part of me wants to go CMC in one of these drafts. I don't have any CMCs yet. You know? Part of me wants to go Jamar. I got 10 seconds left. I'll go JJ in this one. I haven't gotten any JJ yet. I've done a lot of Jamar Chase at the 1 pick. Let's go JJ in this one. The problem that's gonna irk me is stacking it later, wanting to stack Chase and Burrow later, but that's okay. We're gonna roll with something different. We've done a lot of Jamar Chase. I do need to draft CMC in one of these drafts. I'm not gonna draft him in a ton, but I want him in a couple drafts. Let's go to the big board so you can follow along. Phone lines are open. Christian McCaffrey is probably going here or the next pick, I imagine, or somewhere around here. Kelsey's been going about 3, 4 on like clockwork. Oh, Kelsey went 2. Kelsey's going like 2, 3, 4 like clockwork. It's crazy. I'm not saying it's not valuable or that I don't see the logic in it, but it's like every time I'm doing a draft, he's 2, 3, or 4. He's never fallen past 4 overall in these best ball drafts. He's very vital because there's not a lot of consistency at the position. You could almost say that the argument for Kelsey being the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, or top 6 pick is greater than it ever has been, only because the tight end production was so bad last year. You had Kyle Pitts fall off. You had Andrews injured all year. You literally had Kelsey by himself. And so it makes sense to see him in the top 6. I still think that I am better off trying to predict the next Travis Kelsey or the next breakout tight end than to go the route of what makes sense to grab Kelsey in the top 6, because of the X factor of Kelsey, the amount of points he outscores the last starting tight end in a fantasy league that you're playing in. So if there's 12 owners and 1 tight end mandatory, the amount of points, the X factor is how many points does Kelsey outscore the 12th tight end, because your league has 12 players, 12 starting tight ends. That is his X factor. Kelsey's X factor over the 12th starting tight end is so much greater than, like, if you start 2 running backs, how much Christian McCaffrey outscores running back 24. So that's what X factor is. And that's why a lot of people love Kelsey. Even if you don't understand X factor, you might be subconsciously figuring out that Kelsey feels like he has an X factor type of value that you don't even know you're thinking of being that much more valuable. And it's true. If you look at last year, again, you got Andrews, you got Pitts, you got all these busting tight ends. But my thinking is to come into 2023 finding the guy that is going to be the value, and then trying to still build without drafting Kelsey at 2 or 3. But it makes sense. There's a good argument to be made drafting Kelsey in the top 6. There really is. There really is. I don't love drafting that way, but it's a great strategy for people that know how to do it, because it's a unique way to build. And I feel like I do it very, very well, but I do other strategies better. So for me, I like attacking the tight end later, because your boy Smitty from 2021, 2020, 2021, 2020, and 2019, I was the number 1 ranker in the entire fantasy industry in tight end rankings. Actually, it's 2020, 2019, 2018. In 2018, 2019, 2020, the 3 years combined, your boy Smitty, no one ranked higher than your boy Smitty in tight end rankings. Then in 2019, 20, and 21, so 2019, 2020, 21, no one was higher. I was number 1 in quarterback rankings in the entire industry, according to Fantasy Pros, in both of those categories. So I know a little bit something about drafting quarterbacks early. I know a little something about a guy named Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow. People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
I know a little something about grabbing the next Travis Kelce, and that's why I take that approach. That's why I draft early quarterback. That's why we've got stacks upon animations.
The tripod, also likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, are constructed using Burrow or Hurts, Chase or a JB, Hull or Walker.
All right, we're circling around to my pick coming up here. So Breece Hall went at number 18. Bijan fell to a nice location at 15 overall. That's a very, very, very good value that I don't know that you'll see on the regular. Kenneth Walker is not gone yet. That's what I was talking about earlier, that he's falling to that 14, 15, 16, 17 range. Garrett Wilson at 19 is a nice pick. St. Brown, these are all very, very good selections. There's nothing wrong with every single one of these second-round picks. Jalen at 13, I don't even care. I like it. Patty Mahomes dropping to 20, that's good. I mean, that's really good. Ron Navy hitting a home run with that one. Cooper Kupp and Mahomes can't start off better than that. Eckler and Wilson, like I was saying, these second-round picks are phenomenal. Hurts is a little early, but it's understandable. A.J. Brown, Hurts stack is fine by me. Barkley, Bijan's great value. Josh Allen, I understand it. St. Brown maybe a tad higher than I would rank him, but I still like it. Amon-Ra is going to be a beast. Breece Hall. Let's see here. Kenneth Walker's there. This is like also Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, Travis Etienne. Tight ends, I'm not liking that. Quarterbacks, Fields. I knew Walker would go right before my pick. Right before my pick. Look at that. Walker fell to 23. Right before my pick. And then now it gets really thin. Now it's like it thins out right before I'm on the clock, which really sucks. I mean, I guess Waddle is it's not like I don't love this pick. ETN, I like ETN. I don't know. I feel okay about that. My Justin Jefferson, Waddle, ETN. Not bad. Not bad. Not my best draft. If I would have landed Walker and ETN would have been my preference. But we were talking earlier about this. This is why Walker, I don't know if anybody knows in here, but Walker is the most recent Moon Man.
The Moon Man, dropping loads in outer space.
Because of the reason you were seeing on the board this very second. Why is Walker a Moon Man, you ask? Why did I make Walker a Moon Man earlier today on the 7 p.m. show? Because of this right in front of your face. He fell to 23 in a draft where I already hyped him up all day long. In a draft where I said Walker's name twice. He fell to 23 overall. Why is Walker in the second round at all? We don't know, but continue to let it ride. Play with the house's money. Stop complaining about it and keep drafting it. Keep doing it live. Walker at number 23 is not even comprehensible to me. What did he not prove already? What has he not proven? I don't even get it. ETN over Jacobs, come on. Well, you got a Steeler logo, Frank. So we clearly know why you're talking that way. I'll take ETN over Jacobs all day long, bro. Odds of Jacobs returning to the same value is, in my opinion, the odds are against it. I'll take ETN all day long. So you come on, Frank. You come on. I clearly, I didn't make a mistake, Frank. I didn't sit there and waver, Frank. I smashed it. I smashed it. But I'm okay with you having a different opinion. But that's the wrong usage of a come on. That's the wrong usage of come on, Frank. This is an ETN country that you're in right here. You read the room, Frank. Read the room. Why are you guys like Bijan and Kenneth going over Chubb? Because Chubb slowed a little bit, bro, and that offense is concerning, and his workload's massive. Chubb was very, very disappointing in some respects last year. So the fact that ETN, he finished on a tear, and he's easily a top 10 running back, potentially a top 5 to 10 running back. And so I think it's a pretty clear-cut case of what have you done for me lately mixed with predicting that ETN is going to be an absolute monster or not. And it's okay. Like, Frank likes Jacobs more than ETN. I get it. But it doesn't mean that Jacobs will return to what he did in 2022, which he didn't do in previous years. So there's just as much risk in maybe ignoring 2022 and thinking he won't do the same thing again and repeat what he did. But there's also the same amount of risk on both sides of that, where it's like he's going to fall back to where he was. Not to mention when you get the amount of work that he got, you traditionally don't return to the exact same place. It's hard to become a top 5 running back in 2 back-to-back seasons. So the odds are extremely against him. You know, Frank's taking his lap like a man. Frank is taking his lap like a man. It's just, you know, Frank, it'd be one thing, I think, if I didn't pick a guy that had, you know, finished so strong that people are predicting top 5 to 10 running back numbers out of ETN. Really, across the board, people love this guy. Why he's falling, I don't know. Jacobs is falling too. But why he's falling, I don't know. But I wouldn't give you a come on, man, Frank, if you draft Jacobs over ETN. All I'm asking is for the same courtesy, pal. Because if you like Jacobs over ETN, I'm fine with that. If you take Jacobs at 12 overall, Frank, I'm going to pat you on the back. I might smile when I turn around, but I'm patting you on the back, my guy. Because you need to follow your gut. Trust your gut. Always trust your gut, even over me, Frank. Don't listen to me. Listen to yourself. Use me as a guide. Use me as a little nudge over the fence, Frank. Okay. God, it's so hard to see Javonte here, but know you're going to probably pass on him. Because 4th drafted player, 6th, 7th round, I'm going to be on board of Javonte, but I'm really not a fan of Javonte's value with the unknown, with the potential PUP starting on the PUP, not being ready, having such a mangled knee, a worse mangled knee than J.K. Dobbins in some sense. So it's going to be a tough uphill battle climb for the man known as Javonte. Well, Christian Watson, who's drafting here? Cam, this is the problem with drafting with my people. This is the problem drafting with my people. I get Walker sniped from me by Cam. I get Christian Watson sniped by Cam. I'm trying to build a conglomerate here, and you're just stepping all over it, bro. You're stepping all over it. I timed out. Hawkinson. I mean, it's not a horrible pick, but I didn't want to choose that. I got timed out. That's okay. Hawkinson's he's a monster. He's a monster. He's the most capable top 3 tight end. That's okay. That's actually not a bad timeout. But I took Jahmyr Gibbs. I got 2 wide receivers. I got Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle, Travis Etienne, Hawkinson, Jahmyr Gibbs. That's right. Smitty, I might need to take a lap. I turned down the 1.1 over Etienne. Roger, I mean, I love ETN enough to where I'm not going to make you take a big lap, but maybe like let me press the button for like a millisecond. That's about how much of a lap you should take it. It's a little bit of a lap. Bijan, the 1.1, bro, is an absolute monster. So yeah, I'm not mad about the Hawkinson pick. I just, when it's not your choice, kind of makes you mad. I would have considered him. But I don't mind that. That felt like a good timeout. That felt like a timeout where you're like, okay, that's actually not bad. That's not bad. It looks okay. It looks okay. Out of back-to-back picks, positional advantage. I'm okay with it. Yeah. And it's a good like weird, sideways stack. Non-quarterback related stack. But Jahmyr Gibbs, ETN, I think a good little running crew there. Don't draft Jahmyr Gibbs any earlier than you have to. Try to limit it to the 5th round so you don't alert the entire world that this guy's going to be an absolute monster. Don't start taking him in the 2nd and 3rd round. Don't step on your own, trying to be the guy that owns him in every draft you've ever done. Like let him go. Understand you've got a lot of drafts you can do. These are only $10 in entry. You don't need to draft every single guy on the Moon Man list or every guy that you love in every single draft. Play the ADP to your advantage, and if you do that more times than not, you're gonna have a really, really good squad. Let's take a look at some of these teams. Let's look at where's Ron Navy's team. Ron, where's your squad? TD strikers. All right, let's look at Ron. Ron's got Najee, Mahomes, Cooper Kupp, Metcalf, Pickens. Pretty solid squad, Ron. I like it a lot better than the last one you did. That's a really good one. My team is right here. ETN, Gibbs, Justin Jefferson, Waddle, Hawkinson. Pretty solid, pretty well balanced. Usually I'm early QB, but that's okay. You got to mix it up. You got to do things a little differently than you always do. You got to mix it around. Fantasy football show. I am in a deep keeper league. My running backs are as follows: Barkley, McCaffrey, Walker, ETN, Hall, Algier. Wide receivers are Adams. Do you mean Hill instead of Hall? Adams, probably Hill. McCaffrey, Jameson, Williams, and KJ Osborne, QB Allen. So what you're saying, hiking deep, is that you're in a 4-man league. Or one of those bar fill out the form contests where you get to pick any player you want on one team. Like what's your dilemma here? Deep, and I don't know if I would categorize this as a deep keeper league, bro. Because to have that team, you know how many free agents are sitting out there that are big name players. I don't know that this is a deep team or a deep league. This is a 4-man league with amazing talent on the waiver wire. Like how you got this team, I don't even know, bro. What could possibly be your dilemma here? How many keepers do you get to keep? Like what's going on here? Is this a dynasty league or a keeper league? Because 10-man, I came in second. How'd you come in second with this team, bro? Come in second with this team? What is wrong? What did you do? You start the wrong guys every week. What's going on here, bro? Unbelievable. I don't believe that for a second. I don't think so. Frake says Smitty Swift going in the 4th. He's on a contract year, so I think he's got to prove it. Well, I mean, bro, 4th round Frake is about where we'd expect him to go, right? At this point, I mean, he's pretty much disappointed everybody and their mother. So I'm not taking him in the 3rd round as my 3rd drafted player. I think it's hard enough to take him in the 4th round, bro. I don't think it's that crazy of a drop, to be honest. I think everybody's a little scared of him, my guy. Just a little bit, wee bit scared of that man. What am I going to do here Okay, I'm on the clock. Ayuk just went. I keep drafting Kamara somehow, some way. I just keep drafting Kamara. I don't get how he keeps falling to me to a point where I take him. But we're talking about the 7th round. I need more time, so I'm just going to draft Kamara here. Part of me wants to take Kadarius Toney here. Let's just try it. We'll go Kadarius. So your boy Smitty, his team is as follows: Travis Etienne, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle, Kadarius Toney, TJ Hawkinson. I'm pretty Smitty approved if you ask me.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Yeah, some of these, Dameon Pierce was hard to pass on. But the reason I did is I already had running backs. I needed to go wide receiver. The other part, too, is like there's still a shot that they draft like Bijan. There's still a shot they draft a running back. I love Pierce, believe me. If he escapes the NFL draft without facing competition, then he vaults up quite a bit. He goes from about 65 overall ADP. And this is his ADP. This isn't us dropping the ball. This is like he's at the top of the running back list at this point. So right now is where his ADP is, 65 point whatever. But that's about right considering we don't really know what's up yet. 65 to 80 of you bouncing in and out. Punch the thumb up button. We got 21 thumbs up. Rookie numbers. Punch it. Hit it. 20. Let's match it. 63 and 63. Let's do it live. Pacheco, nice pick. Let's go to the big board. Isaiah Pacheco just went. Our RDJ has Fields at third round. Then it went Mixon, Justin Herbert, Kyle Pitts, Quentin Johnson. Johnston's a good pick. I like him. He's going to be a pretty darn good rookie, I think. Deebo Samuel going in the third round. Then Kittle, Javonte, Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton, Dameon Pierce finally going. Let me show all the rounds there. Jonathan Taylor, Josh Allen, Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Kirk Cousins, Jameson Williams, Hollywood Brown. That's a pretty good squad there. I like that. Some questionable running backs that have good potential bounce back, value in JT and Chubb. This team number 10 has Diggs, Bijan, Ramondre, DeAndre, Trevor Lawrence, Jackson Smith. We got Deontay Johnson. Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be a pretty tough. You guys probably hear everybody call him JSN because his name's a mouthful. Jackson Smith and Jigba, but JSN is going to be a hot commodity. But Addison is near as exciting or more to a lot of people. My rookie wide receiver rankings are coming up this week. So you'll get a chance and a taste of what I feel the rookie wide receivers, how they rank and how they shake out. So get ready for that. This team number 12, Devin. He's got A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, and Amari Cooper. I don't like that third player drafted. Calvin Ridley. I think Amari Cooper and Calvin Ridley together is a big risk. Judy on top of that. Judy Keenan Allen. Oh, my God. Who is this? Is this one of our guys? Devin, are you one of our guys? Speak up. It's okay if you are. I just don't know what you did there with those. Like, I don't mind the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts. Ballsy, a little early, but then the Cooper, Calvin, really, Jerry, Judy, Keenan Allen. What is this, the second chance club here? What are we doing? Deshaun Watson. Oh, my, I didn't even look. Miles Sanders, are you out? You out of your mind, bro? What is going on here? We got one from Amari Cooper in the third round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks. I don't like at all. I don't like the. If you're a follower of mine watching, I apologize. Let me know and I'll say I'm sorry. I'll take a lap. But that's definitely like too many in a row, broski. That's too many in a row. Rashad Bateman. RJ Sports, to see what you do here. I like. What's that guy doing? Look at those picks, bro. From literally the third round on, it looks like you got into a Madden 2021 time machine or something and just turned the blender on. Like what's going on there? Deshaun Watson, Miles Sanders. This is the biggest bunch of second chance players and potential faders I've seen in a long time, broski. A long time. Is that one of our guys? I'm sorry if it is. I'm sorry. It's okay. You can make fun of my draft. I knew TD Strikers was going to take Zach Charbonnet. I'm glad you guys waited on him, though, because you don't want to ruin his value. You got to get your guys at the right spots. I can't believe this. Can you trade these? No, these are best ball drafts, broski. These are underdog best ball drafts, okay? You can't control who's in them. You can only try and go in at the same time. Like, click it now, and you go in best ball, no lineups. Best ball means they set the best lineup for you. And when these first hit, everybody was like, that sounds boring. They're not, because you do so many of them, you couldn't possibly manage the lineups or add drops or anything anyway. It's one and done. You draft, and then you come back and you try and win these prizes. And there's strategy involved in best ball that is not, that can't be present. The strategies can't be present in regular drafts because of the best ball strategy. Okay, I got to go and start. Let's see here. We need a quarterback. Brian Robinson. Wide receivers. Dalton Schultz is a pretty good value at tight end. I'm gonna reach down for Aaron Rodgers just to make sure I don't miss out on getting a quarterback. I don't want to go too early on him, but this is perfect. Sean Tucker's he's not falling. He's still like in the top 7 or 8 running backs ranked. So therefore I ended up with Aaron Rodgers, ETN, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara, Sean Tucker. Rookie running back out of Syracuse, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle, Kadarius Toney, Skeletor, baby, and then TJ Hawkinson. So, your boy Smitty's feeling pretty good about this team. Do I do fantasy baseball? No, bro. I used to do fantasy basketball. In a confession, I was better at fantasy basketball than I ever was at fantasy football. I was a monster, but I don't know the game as much anymore at all. I've been out of it for 10 years, but that's where my predictions began. Allen Iverson was my first prediction ever. And when I started doing sports and for the school paper and stuff like that back when I was a kid, Allen Iverson would be the best guard to ever play the game is what I wrote. And then when I got further along into the newspaper writing for the school paper and all that, I did a prediction on Steve Nash before Nash was even drafted before he even played his senior year. I said Steve Nash would be the best point guard to ever play the game. Granted, he wasn't the best, but he's a top 5 point guard. Like, that was a really good prediction that people laughed at. They're like, Steve Nash out of where? Santa Clara. He's going to be a great player in Santa Clara his senior year. I was so good at fantasy basketball because basketball was my sport when I was younger. I used to play at a futures camp where I'd play with like college players and I play at America West Arena, which is the Suns Arena now. They named it something else. I forget. It's called Footprint. But Footprint Center, it was called America West Arena back then. And I'd go in there, I'd play basketball at America West Arena. I was super into basketball. I was really good at basketball. So basketball was my first love. And I got a basketball court in the backyard. Like I'm a big basketball guy. Kevin Durant, I can't tell you how excited I am about Kevin Durant. Anyway. So basketball was my thing. But I haven't played fantasy basketball in ages. I did have a fantasy baseball site for 1 year. I had fantasy basketball, fantasy baseball, fantasy football. I think it was 2004, 2005. I had all those at once, and then I scaled it back down to just football. But I did football first, a fantasy football site with the fantasy basketball. Highest finish in a tournament this past year. I don't remember what the rank was. I know I got into the finals on the playoff best balls, but I had all Bengals, so I clearly lost in the finals. But I had two. I think I have 2 teams get to the finals on these best ball playoff. At the beginning, what do they call them? Playoff mittens. What were they called? But they were all Bengals. So I had nobody left, but I had the whole Bengal team on 2 of those teams. So upsetting. Like if the Bengals would have made the Super Bowl, there's a real strong shot I would have had some serious placing. As far as the full season best balls, I fell short on a couple, but had some awesome results across the board on other things. The pick'ems I did well. Super Bowl Sunday I smashed on Super Bowl Sunday. Almost landed all 5 of the 5 times tickets that I had. Okay, here we go. Who am I going to get? Who am I going to get? Let's see. I'm going to queue up some wide receivers. It's getting a little thin. Big board here. Dawson Knox just went. Michael Thomas. Okay. So at this stage, because I went a little risky with my QB, I'm going to double up on QB and just secure myself a nice little QB option here. I like Zay Jones a lot here, but Ridley, not sure how that's going to shake out. I feel like because I have Kadarius Toney, I'm going to go Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, and that way I got who I truly believe to be the number one there next year between the two of them. I think Kadarius Toney has the advantage right now, but Sky Moore could definitely come along. He's a high draft capital guy that they want to probably bring along. I feel like it's a good combination to have. And Derek Carr, I think, secures up my QB room a little bit because I did go late QB. So Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, one of which will be in New York or in Las Vegas. New York or Miami or Las Vegas. Well, Derek Carr won't be in Las Vegas, but you know what I'm saying. I'll have, I think, one of those guys in one of those three locations. And Travis Etienne, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kamara, Sean Tucker. And then I've got Justin Jefferson, Waddle, the Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore stack, Hawkinson at tight end. Feeling pretty good about this team so far. This is a 20-rounder, so we're only going to do one draft. We're going to try and do this every other night, though, at midnight here on the YouTube channel. So appreciate you all being here. And if anybody wants to dial in, the phone lines are open.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Tony is good, but he may be hurt half the time. Well, that's why I've got Sky Moore, broski. I mean, that's why Kadarius Toney's not on the Moon Man list. Talent-wise, he's got it. Situation, though, not only does he have to stay on the field, but he's got to stay out of trouble. He's also got to figure out how to survive in a situation where Mahomes doesn't really need an Andy Reid, one guy to be consistent other than Kelsey. And proof was on that play of the Kadarius Toney touchdown, rotated the play, shifted it to the left side of the field, replaced Kadarius Toney with Sky Moore, ran the same play, Sky Moore touchdown. It's like, it's plug and play, so there's some concern there, but that's why I went with the double. When you get both of them, you stack it up. I think it's a pretty good move. The big three with Aiton, Suns are legit. Big three. Yeah, I mean, big three, but bro, they've got a big four, They got a big four. They've got DeAndre, we've got Chris Paul, we've got Booker, and now Durant. So it's like a big four. It's crazy. The Suns have a squad. I mean, it's the best team we're ever going to assemble. So if the Suns don't win it in the next 3 years, then we probably won't ever. But we have Durant for 3 years. I don't know how long we have Chris Paul. At some point he's going to start to fade. He's already at that point where people predict he could. But, Booker, Kevin Durant, and Ayton, God, just those three alone, even if, let's say, Paul were to leave, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Going to a Suns game, too, on later in April. Taking little Smitty to her first Suns game, so it's going to be amazing. She's never been. It's going to be unreal. I can't wait to go. And I don't get out that much, so it's going to be fun for me to go to a game. I haven't gone to a game in a while. Let's see here. I don't know who to grab at wide receiver. It's so thin. It's looking pretty thin. Tempted to do some weird drafting here. So when Osborne, Gibson, Pickett was probably wrong. Yeah. Lazard, Stafford, Wandale, Alexander Madison went. Okay, so I'm on back-to-back picks here. I have 4 wide receivers and 4 RBs, 2 quarterbacks. I think I'll go tight end here. I'm going to go Taysom, get a good backup tight end, and then I'm kind of contemplating quarterback scoring is important. I'm going to go Jordan Love. That way I have this Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love situation, which probably will divide into 2 quarterbacks, and then I'll have 3 different quarterback options. Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay, then great. Christian Watson to the moon, and Jordan Love gets traded, hopefully to somewhere where he can do something. But if Aaron Rodgers does end up getting traded, which I think ultimately will happen if he goes to New York, let's say, then Jordan Love gets a pretty decent opportunity. And I don't think he shakes out as the top scoring of these options, but you need a good 3 quarterbacks. I'm not touching Kamara either. Hiking deep in most scenarios, and I don't think that he's going to fall this late in regular drafts, but I took Kamara and I've been taking him more frequently than I would like. But when he's falling to the 72nd overall pick, that's literally the 7th round. It's so hard. It's literally the 7th round. He literally is falling to the top of the 7th round. It's hard not to see the value if you even get him for 8 games or something. Not to mention that, like in a regular draft setting, this is best ball. There's no trades, but if you got trade opportunity and he starts off the season, good. But as a 7th rounder, it's hard to pass on that value, to be honest. From somebody that's telling you to stay away from him. I mean, at some point, you draw a line in the sand, right? That's what the line in the sand is about. The line in the sand, for anybody that doesn't know what the line in the sand is, line in the sand is basically when you have a value of a player. So here's round 1, here's round 2, here's round 3. And line in the sand is, where's my line in the sand? Where it's no go, no go, no go, no go. Here's my line. No go, go. This is the territory where you're willing to draft the player. There's a player flip from absolutely not to, okay, I'll take him. And sometimes there's a gray area, or you could say a thick line. So the line might be this thick right here, where it's like my line in the sand is kind of a gray area of like 4 picks. So maybe my line in the sand is 3.1, but it's a big line. So it's like 3.1 to like 3.5 where I'm shaky, but then 3.6 it flips into absolutely. Like you'll take him in the 3.1 to 3.5. I'm not talking about Kamara. I'm just saying like the line in the sand value when you break down line in the sand. So Kamara, my line in the sand for Kamara is probably 5, 6, 7. It's probably right where he fell. This is my line in the sand. It's probably a thick line, maybe by 4 or 5 picks, but it's like no go, no way I'm drafting Kamara as my 5th drafted player. 6th drafted player at the top of round 6, I don't like it. But essentially, like in my 7th overall drafted player territory with my back-to-back 6th and 7th round, it's pretty hard to not like that value of Alvin Kamara, even though I totally am against drafting him for the most part. We've got 85 people in here, only 38 thumbs up. Punch that thumb up button for your boy Smitty and dial.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Jordan Love or Carr, and if both are starters, Jordan Love will be a starter. I'm pretty confident on that because if Aaron Rodgers stays, he's requesting a trade, and they're going to lose all their value. Jordan Love's gone. If Aaron Rodgers stays, Jordan Love's gone. They'll trade him or they lose him, so they're going to get value from him, right? Can't ride the bench all year and then they lose him. They can get probably a potentially a first round for Jordan Love in this quarterback market. So if we go to the quarterback big board, you have all these teams. So Jordan Love is right here. Jordan Love, if Aaron Rodgers stays, could be dealt to the Jets. Probably looking more for a veteran than him, but he could. Miami, I doubt it. Raiders are going to be desperate if they can't get Lamar, and if Rodgers decides not to go elsewhere, then it's Jordan Love season for them. Falcons might try, Bucks might try, Saints. I mean, Jordan Love could be any one of these locations. He becomes a pretty decent commodity in terms of trade if Jordan Love's. Oh God, I timed out. Okay, Nico. I got Nico. That's right. I'm gonna go with another tight end. So yeah, this isn't my favorite best ball team I've drafted, that's for sure, but I don't mind it. Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Jordan Love, Travis Etienne, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara, Sean Tucker, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle, Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore, Nico Collins, TJ Hawkinson, Taysom Hill, Hayden Hurst. So Hawkinson, JJ Waddle, Kadarius Toney, Etienne, Aaron Rodgers, Jahmyr Gibbs. Pretty decent squad. This is an upside built team. It needs a lot of things to happen. It needs Jahmyr Gibbs to be a monster. It needs Kamara to play good for half of a season. It needs Aaron Rodgers to go to Las Vegas or the Jets. It needs, Waddle to get a good quarterback, or at least Tua to stay healthy somehow, some way. It needs Kadarius Toney to do something. Hawkinson needs to be the same guy. Like, a lot of things need to happen with this team, but it's a pretty fun looking roster. I don't mind having something different because I usually draft a lot of my same guys, and that team's a little bit built different. Sometimes the team you aren't sure about are the ones that do the best, says Sam, and that's true. That's why you got to do different things. I like Love in Atlanta, but I think they'll try another season to see what they have in Ritter. Could be, but they're also very, very much tied to Lamar Jackson franchise tag and trade rumors. So I think they're willing to move on at the right price. Let's see here. At work. Good stream tonight. Thank you. Appreciate you, pal. Sounds like they're close then, says Mr. TD. On what? Jordan Love or Carr? No, Carr. I like Carr a little more than Jordan Love. It depends on where Carr goes, though. If Carr goes to the Jets, I like him more than where Love could possibly be. If Carr goes to the Panthers for some reason, then, Love could outscore him. Lamar is going to be a Falcon. Bet on it, says Hike and Deep. There's a very good chance that they're the biggest noise makers, in this race for Lamar Jackson. Because they've got a team that's better than people think. They really do. They did pretty good with what they had last year. And I think if they have an elite quarterback, I don't think people realize how far along the team is, how good it could be very quickly if it got an Aaron Rodgers, which it won't. But Lamar, if Lamar wants to go there, Lamar gets to throw footballs to Kyle Pitts, who's a moon man.
The moon men, dropping loads in outer space.
Kyle Pitts right here in the bottom left corner is a moon man for a reason, a moon man extraordinaire.
Space Monsters.
And London, quite honestly, is very close. I'm going to leave this on Walker because he's the most recent Moon Man edition. Why is Walker a Moon Man? Exactly what I described on my 7 p.m. show when I announced he was the next Moon Man. Look where he fell. 23 overall. It's called value. It's called value, people. Let me try and see what I can do here as far as queuing up some players. Boy. It certainly got thin pretty quickly. Pretty thin. Oh, it can't fail going after some wide receivers if it makes sense, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of good value here. I already got 3 tight ends. Don't necessarily need to go in that direction. I already got 3 quarterbacks. I don't need to go in that direction, but I'm not scared to go quarterback again if need be. I think I know what I want to do here. think I know what I want to do. But yeah, anyways, hiking deep. Lamar to the Falcons. They're looking at the big quarterback board here, the carousel. I mean, sure, bro. You got a lot of reason to think that the Falcons are going to be in the mix for it. And if you look at my new order, I've got the Falcons as the number 4 spot. I could maybe even argue that 1 through 4 right here, Miami, the Raiders because of Waller and Devontae Adams, the Jets because of Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and the defense, and the Falcons with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. You could argue these 4, even though there's Godwin and Evans in Tampa. You could argue that the Falcons, Jets, and Raiders and Miami Dolphins are in a tier of their own, a tier of 4. 4 teams in one tier that are better landing spots than the rest. Falcons are a phenomenal landing spot. That's why I've changed it over and have Falcons ranked number 4. I'm going to go Roshan Johnson, and then I'm going to probably go... I'm going to assume Ron Navy took Allen Robinson. Let me go look. Yeah, he sure did. Okay. I guess Richie James. I don't know. What round are we in? 17th. We got 2 more rounds to go. These things are long. These 20 rounders take a little bit of time. I snatched Walker from the free agent pool early last season. Money. It's so crazy. People dropped him, bro. It's so crazy. People dropped him. Richie James. Frank, what's with all the resistance? Frank, what do you expect in the 17th round? Not only is Richie James ranked as one of the highest available wide receivers, so I'm not crazy to like him as a guy that you would take in this territory, but what are you looking at? Slayton, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, Mac Hollins, Terrence Marshall, Corey Davis, Duvernay, Jarrett, Devontae Parker, Cedric Tillman. You tell me where that's a mistake, Frank. Frank's on a roll tonight. Frank, I love you. I'm glad you found us and appreciate you. But what's with the pushback tonight? Richie James? What's wrong with Richie James? What's wrong with Richie James, bro? Oh, he's suggesting Richie James. All right, Frank, hold on. I got to take a lap, Frank. You can't blame me, Frank, because you have been questioning some things tonight. Come on. I mean, when the last comment you had was, come on. Can only think that when I draft Richie James and you say Richie James ? You're questioning me. But I took my lap like a man. I take laps too. You hear me? Oh man, this is such a long draft. Frank's got thick skin. He can handle it. That's for Tony Smitty. The Allen Robinson. You're sniping me on Allen Robinson because I took Tony. I hear you. Bro. That's a real good pick. I'll add more words to my statement. I just wanted to type fast so you could see it. Okay, I got you, Frank. My bad. I took my lap. I got to take a lap tonight, though. I got to go run. Best team in the lobby? Easter Bunny. Best team in the lobby. Do you have a team in here, Easter Bunny? I don't see you. I don't know who to take at this point. It's really bad. It's really bad. My team, though, I've got 3 quarterbacks. I could use a running back, to be honest. Wide receiver or running back. I need to go wide receiver, running back at least. And then I'm not shy about taking another QB. But there's no one left. Another RB. Another RB. Yeah, I'll be fine. There's a couple guys that actually like they're deep though. You know, you don't find them till later. You're looking and you're like, okay, there's nobody left, and then you get like 15 players down, and then you're like, oh, there's my boy. There's my boy Blue. Wide receiver wise though, as I was alluding to, I don't know who to go at this point. I don't like any of these names. I bet you I find somebody down here a little bit though that I do like. So let's keep going. Tutu Atwell. Tutu Atwell was actually surprisingly good in spots last year. What's today? Tuesday? I hear the trash can being rolled out by my neighbor. I think tomorrow's trash day. I think I got to dig the trash out. That's right. I got to go run. All right. Mac Hollins I like, but I don't know that there's room there. Slayton, I already have Richie James. Maybe I'll cue him up. I don't know. Duvernay, I suppose at this point, why not? Devontae Parker, no thank you. I don't trust Devontae at all. At all. No. Oh, okay. I got my guy. I got it. Okay, quarterback. Tight end. I think I'm good at tight end, but I might cue somebody up. Who do I have here? Okay. I think I'm good for the rest of the draft. I got my queue going. My queue's deep enough. Yeah, Frank, I appreciate you. Smitty, great show tonight. You must have had taken your Trump slips before the show. Great energy. My Trump sips. Great energy. I've been resting up a little bit. I got some good energy going. Big energy, big hands. Let's go a couple rookie RBs. Well, I'm going to go Ty Chandler. I took my Trump sip. Big hands. I wish I could do my Trump sips with. I like drafting players with big hands. Tutu Atwell. Blind Larry loves when I say Tutu Atwell. But, Tutu Atwell may never rise again. He may have had his time to shine with Cooper Kupp injured. We may never see it ever again. Smitty, great show. Thank you, Hiking Deep. Appreciate you. Ray Charles, appreciate you being here. Duvernay is also a good pick. Yeah, not bad. Smitty, how come you can't take Josh Allen in the 17th round? Smitty, how come you can't take Josh Allen in the 17th round? I don't know what that means, Sam. Explain it to me. I don't know what we're talking about. Who at where? Tutu Atwell. Tutu Atwell. This guy right here. Maybe he got drafted because I mentioned his name. Where's he at? Tutu Atwell. It's Atwell, but we say Atwell. This guy. Tutu Atwell. Tutu Atwell. He is the wide receiver for the Rams. Speedy, shifty, quick little guy. 298 yards and a touchdown. Had a rushing touchdown and 34 yards. So he's kind of like a poor man's Deebo Samuel. He's like a unemployed poor man's Deebo Samuel. He's just very dynamic. He's a very good wide receiver. Like if I was a scout I would be like, and we needed a final wide receiver, I'd be like, go get Tutu Atwell. And when times are tough and you got to throw somebody in, dude catches everything. He's like glue. He's always there. I really like him. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he emerged somewhere. Like if he got out of that situation or injury strikes again. Like he's kind of just like a crafty little dude. You know what? We're gonna cue him up. We're gonna cue him up. You never know. We could reflect back on this. Yeah, he's like I don't know. What should you say? Retired and incapable of. No, he's not retired. Deebo Samuel. He's more of a. I don't know. Just a poor man's Deebo Samuel, but a poor man's Deebo Samuel. That retired, then had a kid, and then he played football, and he made the NFL, but barely. That kid. That's who he is. Let's look at Ron Navy's team. Pat Mahomes, Geno Smith, Kenny Pickett, Najee Harris, Isaiah Pacheco, Zach Charbonnet, Spears, and Devon. I like Devon a little bit. Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf, George Pickens, Jordan Addison. I like Addison a lot. Took my Allen Robinson, Denzel Mims. He's such a promising prospect coming out of college. Sometimes it doesn't translate. Pat Fryermuth. You got a lot of Steelers there all the time, Ron. Ron loves the Steelers. Ron's on the clock. What Steelers Ron going to take right now? Ron loves Steelers. Ty Thornton with the Rams jersey. I don't know. Tutu Atwell is hard to. Who'd you take? Oh, Tyler Scott, the rookie. Ron loves rookies too. Rookies are such a fun best ball pick. You know, because you don't need them to deliver right away. It's a matter of like if they explode and you land on them, they replace one of your guys you've already locked into your lineup. You know what I'm saying? All right, my last pick in the draft. I got Mr. Irrelevant. I could use a quarterback, but I don't need one. I could use a tight end, but probably don't need one because I got 3 of each. I got plenty of RBs. I think I'm probably good there. Although my RBs are kind of all rookies, and I could get in some trouble there, I guess. But we're gonna roll the dice on that. Wide receivers, because you start 3, it's probably smart to go wide receiver with this last pick. And with the final pick, Mr. Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant in the 2023 February 14th, Valentine's Day, best ball draft with rookies. Smitty selects with the final pick. Tutu Atwell. And Underdog graciously ranks us at the end of it. Ranking in a very doesn't matter, irrelevant fashion. 3,092 points for me. Everybody's pretty close. Look at this one, though. 37. RJ Sports, you got a high rank from them. Let's look at your team. Let's see if we agree with Underdog that your team is phenomenal. Justin Fields, Herbert, Cousins, Tannehill, Eckler, Mixon, Connor, Rashad White, Kareem Hunt, Mostert, Garrett Wilson, Johnson, Lazard. That's a very thin wide receiver crew, though. Garrett Wilson, then you get down to Quentin Johnston, who I like a lot. He's a good rookie. But that's a pretty thin wide receiver pool. But look at the tight ends, Pitts. I like it. I like it. I'm curious as to why they ranked you so high. Part of me wonders, because I've seen this where people rank really high with the 4 quarterbacks. So it makes you wonder if the predictive amount of points you're going to score by getting 4 quarterbacks in there just outweighs more than people realize when you look at the numbers at the end of the day. So that's interesting. Let's go to the second highest scoring team and see if they've got. Here's the highest scoring team. Adam, 39. 4 quarterbacks. 4 quarterbacks. It's a weird thing. Ron, it makes me wonder. We don't see everything, right? It's hard to look at the big picture, the data. But the rotation of 4 quarterbacks seems to be, in my opinion, the trick. Let's see if this guy Banners, third from the bottom, 2,900 points. They don't like him at all. And look at your team, Ron. You've got 3 quarterbacks, though. But they might not count Pickett as a real quarterback. Just kidding, Ron. Banners, though, 2,900 points, 2 quarterbacks. I've got it down. I've cracked the code. My next best ball draft, I'm drafting 4 quarterbacks. I think I may have only drafted 3 in this one. I think it's not just if you get 4 quarterbacks. You get 4 quarterbacks that are going to rank high. I think that might be some kind of, like the combination of someone that has 4 legitimate quarterbacks is going to highly have a more the probability of having the highest scoring quarterback each week probably goes up astronomically just by having the 4th option. I'm telling you, I think we cracked something tonight. 4 quarterbacks, and you might say their projections are wrong, and I get that. Like, that might end up being they have the wrong players projected, but the data is telling you probably through the algorithm of who won last year and where everybody placed from last year that 4 quarterbacks is, and according to the algorithm, a huge advantage. I think we just cracked the case. The case. Appreciate everybody who drafted in that. And don't forget to get on over here, even if you want to do pick'ems for the NBA. You can do those here, high lows, and then we go back to the draft lobby. They got all kinds of things. The little board is best ball little board 2000. So the prices are $50K, $3 entry for the little board. That's pretty cool. Is it still 20 rounds? Because I don't want to do 20 rounds again right now. I think it's 20 rounds. Let's see, 12. Yeah, 20 rounds. So 20 rounds, same thing. Little boards is cheaper, lesser payouts. Oh, God, I triggered something by... Ron, I was just kidding about Kenny Pickett.
Oh, I know.
I figured
that's always been the case. Even with because there's 20 drafts here, so 4, but last year it was 3. Last year it projected the teams that had 3 quarterbacks higher than everybody else. So that is true. It does that. The more quarterbacks you have, the higher projection it gives you.
But I want to make it clear that I'm not saying that their projections are accurate because they don't know. They said the Cowboys, whenever they did the playoff best balls, any team that had the Cowboys going all the way, they scored them higher. So I'm not saying their projection is correct, but what I'm saying is if you can look at the tells in the algorithm, like that tells me that if you landed the right quarterbacks, it's telling you that teams with 4 quarterbacks has a statistical advantage of dominating a position. I bet you people that have 3 or 4 tight ends as well have a massive statistical advantage as well if you land your wide receivers. Because if you double up on quarterbacks and tight ends to that capacity, you're going to be thin at running back or wide receiver, which means you got to really land your wide receivers. So I bet you a team that has a real shot at unseating some amazing drafted team would be a team that is stacked at quarterback, stacked at tight end, and you draft just the right wide receivers that the rotation's perfect all year long versus like you're struggling at your wide receiver 3 because you thinned out and got an injury or something. But I don't know. It's crazy. It's fun. It's fun to do them.
Because if you have a quarterback that gets injured and goes out, you still got 2. Whereas if you only draft 2, then you get an injury and you're stuck with 1. And if you get 2 injuries, then you're out.
Yeah. So far, that's the one tell that I can tell. The one tell I can tell.
Yep.
And I may even try it with 4 quarterbacks in the 18. It's gonna be hard, but you got to space it right. You got to get just the right guys.
Yeah.
But right now, I feel like
right about the tight ends too.
You what?
You're right about the tight ends too.
Yeah, I think my favorite.
It's good to go with at least 3 tight ends.
My favorite team so far. Let me plug in again. Completed. Big board. So I haven't done a ton of them yet. I've done a lot, but I haven't done, let me see. I'm sure you've done more of these drafts than I have. But right here, right now, this is my current amount of entries into the big board. Let me see if I can. Come on, camera. No, that's not what I want. Oh, I'm plugged into the wrong. I got so many cords here. That's the one that goes in my computer. I got 3 iPhone charge cords right here. I got so much. People don't even know. I got to do a studio tour. I've done a studio tour before, but people need to see like every nook and cranny in here. It's actually impressive. Like I love my studio. It's a little dirty right now. I couldn't do a tour, but like I have things galore. I have 3 iPhone cords here. I have a iPad cord here. I have like all this wiring. Everything's got its place. I've got a flashlight velcroed here so that I can look down here into the dark place down at the bottom. We call it the dark place because this studio's dark in here with the lights and different lighting setup. So I need a flashlight unless I turn on the lights, which I've put covers over. They're like purple covers. So when I turn on the lights, it's actually not that bright in here. It's usually kind of dim with the lighting. I got so much in here that would be fun to show everybody. I got the drill holders. I've got tools, places for tools everywhere. I've got nooks and crannies everywhere. I got frisbees. Ron, name something not crazy, but something pretty ordinary that you may or may not find in a studio or something. Just name something. Anything.
Stapler.
Okay. There. Stapler. Next item.
Let's see. Paperclip.
Well, I mean, names. I mean, I can find all those things. Name something like a little different. Like, you know, when someone says megaphone. Okay, there's a megaphone. Name something a little different. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I have it.
Let's see.
All right, let's go to the chat. Somebody in the chat.
Yeah.
Name something, and we'll see if I have it in here. Let's go blind Larry. Give me something. But anyways, while we're waiting for some good call outs on that, here I have 9 entries so far, and these launched not too long ago. My first draft. I only have 2 quarterbacks. That could be my demise right there, because we just kind of figured out that you have 3 or 4 quarterbacks, you get a higher rank. The rotation's bigger. But Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers are a unique duo that I think might be okay and rotate. Coffee mug. We got the coffee mug right here. Oh, coffee mug right here. What's the next one? Someone said.
What about penalty flag?
Someone said measuring tape. Measuring tape. It's even all within reach. It's all within reach. Walkie-talkie. I do have a walkie-talkie, but it's down buried inside one of these cubby holes down here that I'd have to get down with the flashlight and try and find it. So I'm going to pass on that one. The script. Absolutely. We got the NFL script right here. NFL script is right here. It's a long script. That's the one we use all the time for the NFL script. What'd you say, Ron?
Penalty flag.
Oh, you're not gonna believe this. Where'd it go? Oh, come on. I know I got it in here. It's in here. I just don't know where. Hold on. Ron's gonna make me look underneath here. Where's my flashlight? Hold on. Where's my penalty flag? Where's my penalty flag when I need it? It's in here. This is disappointing.
Make you work for it.
I know it's in here somewhere.
Use the force.
Where are you, penalty flag? I know it's in here somewhere. Well, it's here, but you got me because I can't find it right now.
You're gonna find it when you're not.
Okay,
Even looking for it.
I'm going straight off of the list here. Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. It's right here.
Oh my god.
And it's within like sitting distance. Ray says, dude, he doesn't have a Baby Yoda. I had a Baby Yoda. So far we're doing pretty good. Contraceptives, don't need those. Don't need those.
Oh Lord.
Let's see here. Is Aaron Rodgers in the darkness? Not yet. I think he does that potentially. I don't know. I think maybe Thursday night, Friday.
Oh, I thought he went in today.
There's 2 Baby Yodas. How do you know I got 2 Baby Yodas, bro? Oh, that one. That one.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. But that's yeah, okay. So I get why he said that then. He was joking, but I have another Baby Yoda right there. Now I got you. I forgot that one was is that Baby Yoda? I think that's normal Yoda. That might be Baby Yoda. A whistle. I don't think I have a whistle in here. I think you got me there. A hammer. Yeah, we gotta have a hammer in here. Hammer. All right, back to this team. So with this is one of my favorite teams. Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sean Tucker, Zach Charbonnet, Jerick McKinnon, Bigsby, Spears, Evans. I got all the rookie running backs essentially. Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson, Dalton Schultz down at the bottom. This is one of those teams I love, like building those rookie running backs. This second team here, I've got Patrick Mahomes, Burrow. I got the 4 quarterbacks. Bijan, Gibbs, Charbonnet, Zach Tucker, Jerick McKinnon, Chase Brown, Christian Watson, Dotson. I don't like this team as much, but I do have Kyle Pitts, Dalton Schultz, and Higbee. So that's an interesting team. This third one I did, I've got Tua. Oh, this one I think I fell asleep. I joined it and it drafted without me. Let's see here. Lamar. Oh no, that was that the one I did the other night. This is the one I fell asleep on. Let me see. Where is it at? I think it's this one. Yeah, this one I fell asleep because I wouldn't draft Pickett, Ron. Pickett, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, Tom Brady, Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker. I didn't look at it yet. The whole thing. Tony Pollard.
Tried to get me worked up.
Hey, look at that. Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, Pollard, and Dalvin Cook, Pacheco. That's not bad for a running back auto draft team. Cooper Kupp, JSN, Gabe Davis, Kadarius Toney, Komet, Hayden Hurst, Likely. That's not too bad for falling asleep.
Dalvin going in for shoulder surgery. You heard that, right?
Yeah. This team right here, I got Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, Mike White, Kenneth Walker. It's fun. It's a fun way to draft. You
were like, I like that Tyler Scott. You know why, right? You're giving me about the Steelers. Steelers are high on him. They're looking at him hard. And,
Tyler Scott.
And some people are.
Do you like that though? If you like him, don't you want him somewhere else? Because you've got Pickett, you've got Deontay, you've got.
No, I don't got.
You what?
I don't got Deontay.
No. I mean, like the Steelers.
Oh, we got Austin too. That should be back this year, but
Yeah.
he didn't play last year because he was injured.
Yeah, so it's
But
just
one thing about the Steelers is they're good at making with their wide receivers. So, you know, I mean, they draft 2 or 3 and
No hand
you usually
warmers.
get one real good one out of them.
yeah. Yeah, no hand warmers. You got me there because I don't get cold or I usually get more hot than cold. So
What
I got
about a back scratcher?
a back scratcher? Let me see. Probably over here. You know, I do have one. I know it's here. I just can't find it. It's in a box. I do have one though. I wish I could pull it out, but I'd have to dig through so much. I do have a back scratcher though.
I haven't done that many more drafts than you. I've done 11, so I'm only like 2 ahead of you or 1 ahead of you.
All right, 2 more guesses on items. I'm doing pretty good so far. WD-40, I have it outside the studio right around the corner, but so answer is no on that, but yes. Are there dumbbells? Absolutely. What do I look like? I don't even have to get up. There's a big weight down here. There's dumbbells. I got bands. Fly swatter. Flies don't come in here. We don't allow it. But I do have so many things in here, and it's not like cluttered. It's all organized, but I do need to clear some stuff out.
Yeah, it's so organized that you can't find stuff.
Well, yeah. Right now it's a little dirty for the most part. I mean, Sharpie. Yeah, I mean, I got all kinds of markers, bro, and everything in here.
What about a license plate?
Yeah. Now I'm looking behind me now. A shoelace. I don't think I have a shoelace. First aid kit. We don't need those here. We lick our wounds. Random cup full of change. No, that's right outside the door though. I mean, I have a. You know what? There's some change. This is a random cup of everything. There's some change at the bottom, but it's not like full though. It's not like a piggy bank type of, you know. All right, no, maybe does this count here? Does this count? A random cup full of. But I mean, I got everything. I got like boxes of Velcro, you know, like boxes of double-sided tape. I've got, you know, just everything you could think of. Blank hats to make you know, hats and apparel. All right, I'm out of here.
You know what? You also have
What? What?
you have a cleanup job to do.
Yeah, that's true. Someone says a fantasy.
No, like right now.
What do you mean?
Well, you're gonna have to clean it up once you disperse it, right?
Yeah. Somebody
So
said
you got a cleanup job to do.
fantasy trophy. I do believe I have one here. Fantasy trophy. Clean up, says Ron Navy.
Yep.
Clean. Hey, Ron, off that I could order a cleaning lady for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to clean your floor up.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to put most of it back, but
No, but you still got to clean it up.
Yeah, I do. Thank you for the
When-
soup.
Once
Oh,
you take it
oh.
rank-
I got you. Hold on. I'm a little slow on the uptake.
Yeah, buddy.
I got you, Ron. I'm a little slow on the uptake tonight. $20 holler gets a let it rain. Yeah, thanks, Ron. Thanks, Ron.
You're welcome.
Nah,
hey,
nah.
hey, tip for tat, you were giving me some stuff, so I had to give some back.
Yeah.
To you. But you made out in the end.
Extra light bulbs when they go out.
You got to have those.
I think I have them in this little cabinet here. Hold on. Let me see. I think I got them right. So I don't have the I have the what do you call them? These bulbs right here. But I don't have the blue ones. But yes, I have light bulbs, so I got that.
So I got a question for you, Smitty, before you leave. For not having your valuable rookie wide receiver info yet, that I'm still waiting for, that you said is coming, how have I done with some of my rookie wide receivers blindly?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I to be honest with you, when I go through a couple more write-ups, I'm gonna change them myself. I'm gonna move guys around, like even by like tomorrow night when I finish doing some things. I'm sure just I'm rewatching a lot of footage too, and sometimes you see things you don't see the first time around. So to be honest with you, I'm still moving them. But like Addison and JSN, and then you start getting to a pack of guys that like Johnston that like stand out, and then they have So I'll get to them. Hang tight. I kind of want to drop them all at once so everybody gets it all at once, but it should be this week or this weekend.
That'll be good.
Yeah, and I'm not positive yet. I'm going to try and put some promotion behind it if I decide to do it, but I think we're going to do, instead of doing, and I told Ron this, instead of doing a darkness retreat alongside of Aaron Rodgers, where I'm down in the corner in a live stream with you guys chatting and me able to read it. I know Aaron Rodgers doesn't have any electronics around or whatever. I understand I'm not doing it exactly like Aaron Rodgers, but I was tempted to do it on the floor, as long as I could go, to do a darkness retreat with him in very dim light with the studio or with the show streaming. And I don't know if I would have read the chat. I know it would have been a little different, but I would have potentially done that. I think instead, to make it useful for you guys, maybe we start the darkness retreat live stream the moment or right around the moment Aaron Rodgers goes into it. And so at that point, it's like, let's say he goes Friday evening into the darkness retreat. We go live on Friday evening, and we at least do a 12-hour, 15-hour, whatever, 10-hour live stream retreat in special. So we'll have like the timer going, how long has Aaron Rodgers been in there? What's he doing? And then we just talk football for the 10, 12 hours. That might be what I try and do on Friday. We'll have to see. It's that, or potentially do that or do a 10 or 12 hour live stream, 12 in recognition of his number that he wears. But do a 12-hour like celebration of the trade announcement of where he's going, or if he returns to Green Bay. And if he retires, we're only going to give him a couple hours.
So realistically, what is your best guess, or let's say, or ask the chat, when do you think Derek Carr will sign with the team?
It's very, very tough because...
Will it be a day? Will it be a couple days?
It's tough.
It's just for fun.
It's tough.
Guess in.
Yeah, throw your guess in the chat. I'm kind of thinking like that these teams are going to be in a like we said earlier tonight on the show. The teams are going to be in a panic because if the Jets and the Dolphins and the Falcons and these teams don't get a shot at Lamar and Aaron Rodgers, and they don't know right now, it's a certainty, because Aaron Rodgers doesn't know. Aaron Rodgers went on Pat McAfee and said that he loves Ian Rappaport and he loves Adam Schefter, but he said they don't know bleep about me, because when they talk about me, they're full of bleep or whatever. And what he was saying was that he is telling them with certainty that nobody knows what he's going to do. He's going into this darkness retreat for a reason. But he said his inner circle is not talking to anyone, because if anybody was talking, they wouldn't be in his inner circle. So he's like, it's ridiculous that people are writing, narratives and just wanting to run with stories about where he's going and how this is being talked about. He doesn't know. He's going into this darkness retreat. We don't know what's going to happen. So the Jets, the Miami Dolphins, the Falcons, whoever's potentially in this Derek Carr race, they're scared that he's the only one left, because if Lamar gets franchise tagged and not traded or extended, or not, they sign it to a brand new fat contract, Carr's it. Like, the Jets are out. What are the Jets going to do? Jimmy G? What's Miami going to do? Maybe they want Tua. I certainly wouldn't. No offense to Tua. It's a business. And the Miami Dolphins, I think, and Mike McDaniel would be crazy to assume that they're not going to get a repeat of what happened last year. Holding no quarterback walking into a playoff run. So I just feel like the odds of the Jets or the Dolphins or the Falcons striking fast is high. So I would love to say within maybe 7 days. Maybe 10 days. The one advantage he has is that none of these players but Derek Carr can sign now. Derek Carr can sign tonight. Derek Carr can sign tomorrow. Jimmy G's got to wait till next month. Mike White's got to wait till next month. Every single player here's got to wait until next month. Only Derek Carr can sign tomorrow, today, this week, this month. But the problem is, if Aaron Rodgers announces that if he goes into this darkness retreat, so maybe it happens within the 4 days. If he goes into this darkness retreat, comes out and says, I want to be traded, all of a sudden the Jets and the Raiders don't matter, because Derek Carr's not going back to the Raiders, but the Jets, the Raiders, the Miami Dolphins, the Falcons might all pump the brakes on Derek Carr and say, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers real quick, and then circle. So it's tough to say.
Do you think that maybe, Miami Mike, maybe he wants to give Tua another chance, but he also realizes that he might need a really good backup to him. You think maybe he might go for a Mike White to come in there and
sure,
just in case Mike White, and that would look better. I mean, for Tua at least, because Tua would know, I get my chance to start again, and Mike White is comes in as the backup.
Yeah, he could go Mike White. He could also go Tyler Huntley.
Yeah.
The reason why Mike White is a little lesser possibility than Tyler Huntley is because Mike White has a potential. Huntley does too, I guess, but Huntley was a Pro Bowler, which is kind of a joke. But Mike White, look at all the teams in need of a quarterback. Let's say Aaron Rodgers goes to the Raiders. Okay, that means Jordan Love is a starter in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is a Raider. So Derek Carr, let's say, goes to the Jets. So the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Bucks, the Saints, the Colts, the Panthers, all of these teams need a starter. Mike White and Jimmy G are the two players, assuming Geno re-signs with Seattle and Danny Dimes gets franchise tagged or re-signed. It's literally Jimmy G and Mike White and Tyler Huntley. So I highly doubt that Mike White has to resort to some sort of potential competition. I don't think he needs to. I think he's going to get a starting job. I hope he gets a starting job. The Colts could draft somebody. I mean, there's clearly some teams that will want to try and draft a QB too, but I don't think Mike White or Jimmy G is going to resort at all to any sort of timeshare or potential competition situation. I don't think they need to. Baker Mayfield could land a job, I suppose. We got Brissett down here. This is Brissett. This is Minshew. This is Baker. This is Tyler Huntley. This is Geno, Danny Dimes, obviously, Jordan Love. Mike White, Jimmy G. These are your potential quarterbacks on the move. Most of these are free agents, obviously. Aaron Rodgers and what?
The Cardinals are going to have a part-time guy too to start the season.
Yeah, you might see a Huntley. I could see Huntley in Arizona. I could see Baker. I could see Baker starting somewhere too, though. I could see Minshew. I could see Brissett in Arizona. I could see, yeah. I don't think this middle row here of QBs is going to be any timeshare. I think Jordan Love starting somewhere, traded or in Green Bay. Danny Dimes' his franchise tag. Geno's re-signed in Seattle. Jimmy G starting for the Bucks or the Saints or the Colts or the Panthers. Or the Raiders, like you said earlier, if they botch everything and don't get any one of these three, which they can't take Carr. So these two, Lamar and Aaron Rodgers, if the Raiders screw the pooch and they crap the bed and they don't get Rodgers or Lamar via an aggressive trade tactic, they are going with Mike White or Jimmy G, or what are they going to do? So the Raiders are very, very vulnerable to screwing this up and getting Jimmy G, which is why your earlier comment of Jimmy G it makes sense. It's definitely a world I could see unfolding. But Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets or the Raiders, in my opinion, unless he bumps his head in this darkness retreat and sees cheese or something like in the clouds. And he's funny the way he talks about this. I love him. I love Aaron Rodgers, but he is funny the way he talks about it. He's like, when I go into this darkness retreat, this what do you call it? Like a medical medicine environment or something like that, where he's got the top people, there to make sure everything goes.
Them food. But I wonder, if it's all darkness, how does he see to go to the bathroom or to eat or any of that?
He gets 2 meals. They put a little there's a little slot where they put the food tray through, like jail kind of.
Right.
And when he needs to go to the bathroom, he'll open the door, and there'll be a very, very short, dark passageway to a restroom where it's all dark. He'll go to the bathroom and then come right back in. So the only time he will leave will be to use the restroom. But he will not leave to eat. They'll slide it in on a tray.
How's he going to see it? I don't know.
It's probably bread and or some kind of like, I don't know, bro. I don't think there's light, though. I don't think there's light. It's a darkness environment. It's pitch black, I guess. Maybe there's like a night light or something. I don't know. But I don't know why. I don't know how. I mean, I guess I understand the concept, but you could essentially say go on a hike. Go on a solitude, geared hike where you're by yourself in nature, sitting out there on top of a grassy mountain with trees everywhere. At the top, looking over a nice little view, and like you just got peace of mind and you're just one with nature or something like that. To go into a dark room doesn't make sense to me, but hey, I still love Aaron Rodgers all the same.
I just like what old boy did on Yellowstone, just get with the Indians up there and get some peyote and then go on a vision quest.
Well, I guess that's essentially what he's doing, but inside a room. I don't know. Maybe he comes out and just retires, who knows? All I know is when I do a 24-hour live stream, I'm a little cuckoo for a day. I'm a little cuckoo for it. To do it 2 to 3 days, I don't think he makes it 4, but if he does it even 1 to 2 or 3 days, and he lasts that whole time, I don't know if he'll probably admit how long he lasted, I bet.
Yeah. One more thing is, what do you think, and this isn't a quarterback question, but with Philly losing both their OC and DC, how are they going to get to replace that? And do you think it's going to hurt them going into next year for making another run?
It could hurt them, but let's remember something. This team, assuming a lot of the old dogs don't retire, this team's bringing back almost everybody. And they also have the 10 pick overall, and they have the 30 overall pick. I mean, that's crazy.
I'm more worried.
I understand, but I'm saying you take a little, let's say, and you lose a little in the coaching capacities, you're gaining in player value. So, I don't know. The Eagles are going to be scary next year. I get it. I'll be a little bit worried, too, just a little bit. But Sirianni's the glue there. And they could bring in a couple people. Like, I know people hate Kingsbury, and as a head coach, I think Kingsbury was kind of he reminds me a lot of Shanahan in that he's taking on too much to do what he does well effectively and to give his full go. And I think Shanahan can get in his own way, obviously, because he's a good offensive mind. He's a great scheme. He's one of the better offensive coordinators. He's a savant, they say, from the offensive side. I get that. And I give Shanahan his props offensive coordinator-wise, but he's a horrible head coach in so many ways. And so I think Kingsbury is very similar. I think if Kingsbury ends up as an OC, like let's say he went to Philly and he's looking for OC jobs, he's not going to probably get a head coach job until he proves himself as an OC one more time. So like OC, aggressive play caller, like his systems. I mean, like as much as people want to crap on Kingsbury did do a couple things very well. Number one, he recognized Josh Rosen wasn't the answer. And the year after, one calendar year after they drafted Josh Rosen in the top 10, what do? They draft Kyler Murray and then trade him after the fact. Similar to what I would love to do with Kyler Murray. I'd love to take like Stroud and then, or Bryce Young and then trade Kyler Murray if we have to later. That took balls. I gave Kingsbury so much credit when he did that. And let's keep in mind that as much as we didn't like the way things were going for the team, Kingsbury's offense was still very solid, and the team played very well when it was together. They were the best team of football through half of a season 2 years ago. So, let's not forget that Kingsbury has some potential as an offensive coordinator. So if like Philly brought in Kingsbury, I honestly think that'd be amazing. As much as people are going to want to tie negativity to Kingsbury, you have to be logical about it and say to yourself, Kingsbury as a head coach in Arizona was no bueno. And that he had to go. He had to go. But it didn't mean there weren't positives. And it doesn't mean Kingsbury can't be, as an offensive coordinator, compartmentalized skill set wise to unleash an offense and focus just on that. I think Kingsbury would be phenomenal in Philly. He's got experience with running quarterback and Kyler Murray. And not to mention, I think it will work really well and fit very well.
I could see that.
I feel like we made a mistake letting him go. Smitty, I just can't take it anymore. I'll be honest with you. The hiring of the defensive coordinator for Philadelphia, I like it and I don't know about it. I'm kind of on the fence on it. I honestly think Kingsbury, it's tough. Like, I was on the fence about it. I do feel like he had to go because of him and Kyler, but I'd rather have got rid of Kyler and kept Kingsbury, to be honest. But since we couldn't keep both and they weren't going to get rid of Kyler, it was a tough fit. But will Kingsbury be a better option? Like, keeping him, would that have been a better option than going the direction we're now going? I don't know. Time will tell.
I mean, either way, the new coach coming in from Philly, he's kind of stuck with Kyler Murray.
So
but he's going to hire a good offensive coordinator.
But here's my point about Philly. Philly's a top 4 team next year. In my mind, locked. Absolute lock. And I would say that they're the heavy favorite to be back in the Super Bowl from the NFC side of things in 2023. Why? Because they're bringing everybody back, and they've got the 10th pick and the 30th pick, one of which will be either Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson. I think Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan's in Philly. If they go with Jahmyr, they take him at number 30 overall. Or Charbonnet or Zach Tucker, or whatever running back they end up drafting. I think Jahmyr Gibbs fits perfectly because they could use a 900 type guy. That would be perfect for Jalen Hurts. So whether it's Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs, and then the other pick gets used on another piece, man, this Philly team's going to be unreal. 2 first-round picks, and one of them's top 10. That's unreal. That's scary. People aren't talking about it. They just keep crapping on Philly's defense. Like, oh my God. I get so tired of the crapping on of this Philly defense. There's people running their mouth about how bad the defense was, and that it's such a bad move for the Cardinals to hire this defensive coordinator because they crapped the bed in the Super Bowl. Like, number one, you're gonna really rate a guy off of one game when he did amazing all year long from most people's perspective. And number two, I don't think the Philly defense got worked. I think that Kansas City is just that good. And I think any defense, including the Niners or whoever's making the comments about it, usually it's a Niner fan or it's a KC fan. Most Eagle haters right now are falling to one or the other, given the circumstances of who is in the game and who just missed the playoff or who just missed the Super Bowl contest there. The Niners going up against Philly, hating Philly because Philly beat them. And I understand why. Again, I've said it over and over. The Niners didn't have a shot. Their quarterbacks went down. It is what it is. I get it. I understand the frustration. I got a lot of Niner followers, and I understand their feelings and emotions involved. But, like, to crap on the Philly D in that Super Bowl contest where they went tit for tat, blow for blow, 35-35. I don't hear anybody saying, "Oh my God, the Niner defense or the KC defense almost blew it." Even though the expectations for the KC D was not as high as the Philly D, you don't hear a single person say that the KC D almost lost it. All you hear is how amazing the offense was when it was just 35-35, blow for blow, amazing game. No defensive like collapse or anything. It was KC. It was Philly. Those two offenses would have done damage against any defense. And so I'm sick and tired of hearing this hate against Philly's defense. It's just unwarranted. It's just unwarranted, and it doesn't make sense.
I always like if the Steelers are in it and they get beat in the AFC Championship, I always tend to root for the team that beat the Steelers, because if they win the Super Bowl, that means the Steelers lost to the winner of the Super Bowl. They didn't advance to the Super Bowl, but they lost to the Super Bowl winner.
Yeah. That's what I would think. That's what I would think too. And you know, another reason why I was so surprised that the Niner fan base was so like salty about it, and instead of doing what you're saying, supporting the team that beat them and supporting the conference, you know, you're still supporting the conference in a sense, I would think. But instead of doing that, I thought that it would be like, okay, Jalen Hurts is doubted all year. This team's doubted all year. The defense is doubted. They very much are similar to the Niners. And Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, whichever quarterback you want to choose, doubted. And then you got Jalen Hurts, doubted. Like, it's so similar. You would think that there would be some support. But what it was is the Niner players fueled the Niner fan base, because when asked questions, and you know the Niner fan base is all about retweeting and reposting what the players are saying, because the Niner players are very much vocal and out in the media, and they're very good at it. Like, the Niner players are very good about making a splash. Kittle's very, what's the right word? Expressive or whatever in public, and he's a very good speaker. He's very likable. Deebo Samuel, very talkative and very opinionated in not a negative way, just he'll tell you what's on his mind. Ayuk, same thing. This is a team full of people that like to get out in front of the camera and explain things, and they're a hard-nosed team. They're dogs. They've got a lot of grit, and they're tough. Like, this Niner defense was so tough, is what I'd say. Just a bunch of dogs. Amazing defense. And so they're aggressive. They're aggressive on the field. They're aggressive off the field. And it's kind of fun to watch. But the Niner players were so mad about losing this game, especially the defensive guys, I think, because they didn't even get a shot. The offense kind of is the reason why this game ended the way it did against the Eagles, and they lost because the offense wasn't able to. The wide receivers weren't able to be utilized. The defense had to work overtime and couldn't figure out a way to win it on their own, and it wasn't their fault. And so the Niner players were so bitter about not getting that shot. They were vocal about it. They started tearing down the Eagle players, and then that initiated a fan base reaction. So I think it's natural to, like, if you're a fan of a team and your favorite players on your team are talking trash, you're going to just follow the lead, So it's really how it happened and unfolded. I don't know that the Niner fan base was, like, from the start ready to go at the Eagle players and the Eagle performances the way that they did. I mean, they're always going to talk trash about the Niner fan base. Will always talk trash about the opponents, just like any fan base would. You're playing somebody, you're going to talk trash about them. But the Niner players really molded the feel and the I guess negative spin, you could say, on the Philly team, the Philly defense, and the actual outcome of the game. You know, it was like, and it felt like everybody was saying, there was a lot of people were saying congratulations Niners on winning the Super Bowl, because it's like all they talked about was the Eagles' downfall. And it was like everybody was congratulating Niner fans everywhere on winning the Super Bowl. Like, hey, congrats on winning the Super Bowl, Niner fans. Congrats, you won it. Like, because they won vicariously through the Kansas City Chief win. It was just crazy, bro. It just got really old really quick, hearing all the negativity on Jalen Hurts in the Philadelphia Eagle defense. And you know, whatever. I'm okay. I'm not a fan of the Eagles. I'm just more of like I will argue the side of an argument that needs defending sometimes with a passion.
Well, you like the players there, just like you like, Burrow. I mean, I know you like Cincinnati more than you like Philly.
Of course.
I would even bet say like Cincinnati more than you like Frisco or even the Cardinals, because you just love Burrow.
But you
love Chick.
You know what else though is I'll argue. I argue in favor of the side that needs defending. You know, that's a lot of my nature, and the Niners. There's so many times I've defended the Niners. You can go back to my entire offseason when I'm defending Trey Lance, when I'm defending Deebo Samuel, when I'm ripping on Shanahan, saying you're creating animosity between the fan base and Deebo Samuel because you could literally just sign him now, cut Jimmy G, sign him early on in the offseason versus letting other wide receivers like Tyreek Hill, Adams, Christian Kirk, all these guys sign big contracts, and you're upping the value of Deebo just by waiting. And so I constantly defended Deebo Samuel when his own fan base wouldn't defend him. His own fan base, a majority, I would say 60% of the fan base were saying like, F Deebo, get out of here Deebo, expletive this, expletive that. And I felt like I was defending Deebo Samuel more than the average 49er fan, because people were going at him just because he wanted to get a new contract, just because he felt he was due. And he was due because Shanahan ran him into the ground, used him in the playoffs and the regular season like he was a running back and a wide receiver. And Deebo deserved a contract extension the moment they were in opportunity to sign it. The moment they were capable of giving him an extension, as soon as they could possibly do it, they should have extended him as a courtesy to say, hey.
Possible. As soon as DK got his bag, that's when, right after Deebo, San Francisco knew. And that's when they gave him the bag.
But bro,
Debo's bag.
Nobody defended Deebo, even in their own fan base, harder than me. Nobody. Like I would watch it over and over. There'd be people in his own fan base, fantasy pages everywhere, fantasy Twitter everywhere. They're ripping on Deebo, saying F Deebo, we don't need Deebo, let's move on. This guy's a diva. The whole fan base was toxic toward Deebo, and I was there defending Deebo, but everybody thinks I'm a Shanahan hater or a Niner hater because I'm literally defending the Eagles. I'm defending Jalen Hurts. I just defend. I feel like it's my duty with my platform to defend situations, players, coaches, players, whatever, when I feel like no one else is speaking up about it.
Yeah. Do you think that the NFC East is going to be the hardest division next year again?
I think every year is going to be every year is going to be slightly different, you know. But I think like so. Let me go through the divisions real quickly, and then I got to jump off because it's late. But like.
Like 40 minutes after you said you were going to go.
Yeah. I mean, the AFC North is always going to have its potential if Lamar's in it. And you know, but I think that if Lamar's gone, then it's literally the Steelers could be the second best team. That's great for you. You want Lamar out of that division because then your potential, like if, let's say, injury struck, and I don't even want to say it, but if injury struck in that division, I want to put injury, you know, buzz out there or any bad vibes. But you guys have the capability of winning the division just based off defense. And, you know, if let's say a quarterback, not going to name his name, got banged up for half a season or something like. But the AFC East with the Bills, with the Jets, the Dolphins, Patriots is easily the toughest, I think, overall division, AFC East, I think, by far, because the Dolphins could win the division, the Bills could win the division, the Jets could win the division, and you can laugh at me all you want, whoever's out there ready to type and say, come on, whatever, and probably be frank at this point, but the Jets could win the division as long as they, don't screw up this quarterback situation. If they got Aaron Rodgers or Lamar or even Derek Carr, they could literally be in the mix to win the division. I truly believe that. I think the Miami Dolphins, if they got Aaron Rodgers, Lamar, or Derek Carr, they would be in the mix to win the division. If the Dolphins or Jets don't get that elite quarterback, or they don't at least get Derek Carr, then I think the Bills run away with the division. So so much depends on the movement, the quarterback movement. So I would say Jaguars, Titans, Colts, Texans. It's the Jaguars all day. That AFC South is a cakewalk. AFC West is obviously still very, very competitive. I think if let's say Herbert bounces back on a tear, or if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Raiders instead of one of those AFC East locations, then all of a sudden the AFC West becomes the most dominant division. So it just depends on the quarterback movement. Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, and Lamar Jackson will determine everything about these divisions.
Well, with Peyton, Denver might surprise some people this next year. I wasn't on Denver last year, but
they might
this year.
But let me tell you this. 49ers, maybe the Seahawks surprise because, Pete Carroll's so good. I love a lot of the components there in Seattle. Geno is still so hard to trust, and I admit that I'm wrong in doubting him. I admit that, but it's still hard to see him as an NFC championship caliber quarterback. It's so hard for me to see that. But I'd say the Niners and maybe the Seahawks. The Rams, we'll see what the Rams can do, but I don't know.
I think there's going to be three-team race there. I don't think Arizona has a chance next year, but I think it could be a three-team race.
Arizona will be hard-pressed to match the 4 wins, to be honest with you. But the Rams could be a definite surprise. But so let's call it the Niners, though, are the clear favorite so far. The NFC South, Panthers, Bucks, Saints, Falcons. If Falcons get Lamar, then they're winning that division. If they don't, that division's it's tough to say anybody's gonna be that.
Really?
It's like someone's going to the playoffs in that division. If Lamar doesn't go to the Falcons or the Saints or something, it's hard to believe that someone gets to go to the playoffs from that division. That's almost silly. I almost think it should be like basketball, and it should be like the NBA. There should be 2 divisions. There should be two conferences and no divisions. To be honest with you, I don't like divisions. I think divisions are crap. I love the NBA, how you got 2 conferences, essentially 2 divisions, and it's the top 8 in each whatever. I think that's the way it should be in the NFL. I don't like divisions. I think it's stupid that we're looking at an NFC South right here. If Lamar doesn't land there, I think it's stupid that somebody from the NFC South gets to go to the playoffs. If they have an 8-win record, like the Bucks last year, 8-9, got a playoff spot, guaranteed. I just think that's crazy. So far the Niners, maybe Seattle, maybe the Rams. Vikings are always going to be in the mix. The Lions are kind of crafty. But it's the Eagles. We're back at the NFC East now. In the NFC, it's the Niners, it's the Eagles, Cowboys. We'll see. I mean, the Giants, we'll see. The Rams, we'll see. The Seahawks, we'll see. The Lions, we'll see. The Vikings, we'll see. Vikings are kind of paper tigers when it comes down to it. They can win regular season games, but I just don't know. That it's the Eagles. The Eagles are the clear. Eagles and 49ers, assuming they figure out their quarterback position and they can stay healthy, are the 2 best teams in the NFC. It's just clear as.
For the Giants.
I like the Giants. I like the Giants.
I kind of like Washington too. I like that whole division as far as how strong they are and how. I mean, they did send 3 to the playoffs, and Washington just missed out.
Yeah. But yeah, so Mike's talking about the divisions. Yeah, I mean, you technically have a division, but when you look at standings, they don't show it. They don't really. It's all in a conference. But I just think the divisions should be there for scheduling. I agree with that. But the playoff seeding should be in the overall seeding. Like if you go to the NFL.com standings, you shouldn't see the divisions. There shouldn't be divisions. It should be the divisions basically set up for scheduling. I agree. But it should be the top 8 teams in the NFC, the top 8 teams in the AFC. I just think it's stupid. I just don't know at what point when they add more teams to the NFL, maybe they go that route. And it's going to be, a lot of people will be up in arms. A lot of people hate change. But that's the way I see it. I just don't like it at all. I don't know if I'm in the minority here or if you guys kind of agree. I just think divisions are, I think the division, the emphasis on, what?
There's pros and cons each way. Because, I mean, you could get a team in a division that has the weak schedule. They end up playing weak teams, and so they got a really good record, but they really didn't play anybody all year. And then you got a team that, is in a really tough division, and, they just barely squeak by, and they don't make the playoffs. They win their division, but they don't make their playoffs.
Yeah, it's controversial. I don't think anyone's right or wrong on it. Like I understand the pros and cons. I agree, there are pros and cons. But for me, I just look at the divisions, and sometimes you'll see, they have to reset the divisions sometimes. Every once in a while, that'll be needed. But it's just, I don't know. It's weird, and you got teams like like you look at this division. Look at let's see here. Look at the AFC South. You got the Jaguars in Florida, the Tennessee Titans. You got the Indianapolis Colts up north, and you got the Houston Texans down in Texas. And then you got other teams that are right close by each other. It's just I think the divisions are weird.
The other thing I don't like them having to go overseas and play, and I would get rid of that. I would get rid of also the Thursday night games. I think they're useless. I think it's a disadvantage to the teams that have to play on short schedules.
Well, look at Houston. If they got if Houston has to play Jacksonville, Tennessee, and Indianapolis 2 times a year, and the same vice versa, that's tough for Houston. Houston's got long trips that they got to take multiple times per year. So it's weird how the divisions, they got to reseed them or resit them or refit them once in a while when teams are on the move. Or Colts should be with the Bears, Bengals, Titans, Lions, says Robert. NFC East versus NFC South. All right, hey, I got to go, guys. Ron, I appreciate you calling in. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Smitty. Appreciate it.
All right, later, man. All right, guys, I appreciate you all. We will be back tomorrow. So I will see you all same time as usual, 7 p.m. Eastern, unless news breaks. And I have a feeling there'll be some breaking news tomorrow. I do imagine I'll be doing a live stream. I'm trying to get to the rookie content. We went live 3 times today. 3 live streams. This one's been a 2-hour live with some drafting, but I've been live 3 times today, trying my best to get to this rookie stuff. But yeah. Oh no, Ron, the London games are the best. I hate the London games, Frank, because it's the traveling, the bad play. That's usually a very, very, very bad football. It's like Thursday game. It's like a Thursday game that's like deflated, like usually. But I understand you like the early games. It sucks for me because I'm I'm not West Coast, but I'm Arizona time will mirror West Coast time at the beginning of the season. So we're in West Coast. We share West Coast time. Arizona's weird. But that's really early for us here in Arizona. Like East Coast, maybe it's a little easier because that's like a 9:30 game or something, right? It's like 6 o'clock in the morning for us. So I hate the London games. Their overseas games suck for West Coast people. All right, guys, I'll see you all tomorrow, probably live. I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I'm also live when news breaks. We did a live news emergency live stream today on Derek Carr. Then we did the 7 p.m. show, and then we did this show right here. 3 live streams tonight, one of which, this one right now, was the midnight live stream. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. And until next time, tomorrow. Later, Ian. Later, Mason. Later, Peanut Butter Cups. Appreciate you. Frake in the house. Frank the Tank. Appreciate you. Ron Navy. See you later, pal. Robert. Jonathan. Appreciate you, Jonathan. Ian. Thank you, pal. Mike.
Get breached. Get breached.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.